Wellness Wednesday. I want to do a little bit of a different topic today. Not so much talking about the biochemistry or the technical part of nutrition or hormones. Um, I've been sharing a lot in the last few weeks around hormones and the things that can throw our hormones out, and one of those things being stress. So I want to share with you a theory today, which is a universal truth. This is a universal law that once I learnt this and applied this to my life, um, it became a lot more it became a lot easier for me to go with the ebbs and flows of life, like understanding this. And this is really relevant for me right now because I was at a business conference this weekend, doing lots of things like personal development in that conference, hearing amazing speakers, being around really amazing like-minded women, and I was on this real high. And then I came back to the real world, and I've been delivered several shit sandwiches. And so, all in a short space of time. Now, I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but when you're having an amazing time, or you've received some good news, or something amazing has happened in your life, and then someone will come and rain on your fucking parade. Sorry with the French, but that's just how it is. Like, they will come and rain on your parade. And I, hands down, have experienced this to its fullest extent in the last couple of days. I had real highs, and then I've had like things that have just like humbled me and taken me back into alignment, or taken me back into being reminded of this universal law that I'm going to share with you. Because once we understand the law, we can understand what's happening and what's going on, and then overcome it, or become more accepting of it more so than overcoming it. So one of the things that came through for me on the weekend for me was this concept of stop expecting things to be easy, and stop expecting it to be easy. And so when we have these false expectations of it should be easy, all the shoulds and shouldn'ts, it shouldn't be hard, why is this so hard, why we have this unrealistic expectation or one-sided expectation of how something should be, without actually looking at things both sides. And so we're not balanced. We human beings like to do that. We'll either look at things from a real negative point of view, or look at things all good without looking at the downside. What's the downside? What's the upside? And so we've all done this, right? I know we've all done this, and it's our human nature where we go, oh my gosh, a perfect example is when you meet someone in a relationship and you think they're amazing, and then a couple of months in, you then start to get to know them a little bit better, and you see their habits, or you see where they're areas of their life that they don't have as nailed, and other areas they do. You start to see their flaws, and likewise back at you, and then the real work starts. But we have this concept, that we have this idea as human beings that it should be easy, and understanding that it's not always going to be easy, and there's always going to be benefits and drawbacks with every situation, is one part. The other part, what I want to share with you, is this universal law, and it's called the universal law of duality. And so with every light there is dark, with every pleasure there is pain, with every pain there is pleasure, with every good there is bad, with every feeling of joy there is feeling of pain, like that they're there. And they're actually there at the exact same time. However, as we are these one-sided beings, we have blinkers on, and we only look at things the way we want to see it, and sometimes we don't want to see the other side, and we're not looking for that. But what happens is, then the other side will smack us in the face, and then we'll be dumbfounded or astonished or blown away, or the wind is taken out from beneath us, because we had this one-sided expectation. So the universal law is that yin and yang, light and dark, pleasure and pain, freedom and restriction, all exist at the exact same time. And if we understand that we can't have one without the other, they exist with the exact time, there actually comes a freedom in this. But the concept of duality is actually like, I'm going to draw it for you. It's actually like the universal law to actually be able to keep us neutral. And so when we don't understand this law, there tends to be this yo-yo back and forth of massive highs, massive lows, massive highs, massive lows. Oh, I can never get a break. Why is this so difficult? Why is it so hard? Why is there so much adversity? And some of us will experience this in different areas of our life more than others. There'll be other, areas of your life that you can deal with the pleasure and the pain, the adversity and the freedom and the constriction a lot easier than you can with other areas. And this probably comes down to the way we're brought up, the beliefs, the old traumas that we've got going on, just our lens of the world. But this concept is, right, that I've just got to check my hair's all right at the back, because I did a video a couple of weeks ago and I was just like, oh my god, I got a full bird's nest. So we have something really amazing. I'm going to use me as my example for this weekend. I had an amazing time. I connected with amazing people. I was on a massive high, right? So I'm over here. And then I had a few things that really rained on my parade, a few interactions, different things that happened as soon as I got home. And so literally it pulled me back over this way. Okay? And so if we're always over here, then something will happen to pull us back. Universal law wants to keep us neutral. And so you come here, you go there, and then something really good happens and it pulls you back. And then something shit happens and it pulls you back. And people that are on this yo-yo, okay? But what we've got to understand is, and the thing is, when this happened to me, I was like, of course, because I've been so elated and so feeling good and so much full of love that of course it was going to happen, because it needed to keep me balanced. It needed to keep me in check. It needed to, this is universal law. Okay, so rather than letting myself get so down about it, and it doesn't mean that I can't feel the feels, and I'm not making myself wrong for feeling the feels over here in this department, but I just wanted to share that with you because it is universal law. And so with anything that we're achieving, we're working towards, we're working on in our life, whether it be business, career, money, relationships. My dog is a perfect example of this. He is the essence of duality, because when I got him, I was not looking at the downside of what owning a puppy would be like. A lot of people are like this with kids as well, and both ways. They'll either look all at the downside and then get a massive shock, or the other way around. And I was going, yeah, puppy's going to be amazing, but I was not prepared for the level of work that it was going to be. And I still knew it was going to be a level of work. I grew up with horses, I grew up with animals. I did a lot of, I know animals are hard work, but I've never had a dog, and I did not know the level of work it was going to be in terms of training required. And so I had this massive fantasy about it. And then what happens is you'll have something to pull you out of your fantasy and get you back. What universe is trying to do is to get you back to neutral, so we stay neutral. And so understanding this concept has made a massive difference in my life. It doesn't mean that I don't react, and that's another conversation in terms of how to manage the reaction, how to regulate yourself so that you aren't reacting. But if we can go into things a little bit more, understanding that there's going to be light and dark and duality with every single situation, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a new business venture, whether it be an investment, whatever, like whether it be a puppy, he's right down at my feet, you know, we can then go, okay, well, what are all the things that, what are all the benefits, and what are all the drawbacks with this situation? And it doesn't mean that you're going into it then being like not, it's not a reason to not do it, but if you can just understand, and if they're even, so if your drawbacks are heavier than your benefits, it might make you go, well, I don't really want to do that. But if they're even, it doesn't mean you're not aiming for the goal. It just means that you're like, yeah, there's going to be things that are going to set me back, that are going to challenge me, that are going to trigger me. They're going to trigger all my wounds inside of me, my feelings of not enoughness, my feelings of unworthiness, which comes from us as a kid when our needs weren't met. And so this is just universal law. And so when you then have this massive high, you can maybe be a bit more neutral about it, going, there's going to be a challenge that comes my way now. Or it's going to happen at the exact same time. And so it could happen in different areas of your life. There might be a massive high in a relationship, and then you have a business challenge or a finance challenge, or you could be having challenges with your family, but you're totally nailing your career. It doesn't mean that you can't have both and what you want in each area of your life. But I just wanted to explain this purely because I have experienced it many, many, many times. But it was a real humbling reminder this weekend for me to really embrace the concept of duality, and then going forward with my health, with my business, with finances, with relationships, going, okay, with every benefit there is a drawback. Am I looking at things neutral and open-minded, or have I got my blinkers on? And have I been looking at the challenges from that perspective, or am I looking at it one-sided? We do this often in relationships. We will look at people and put them up on a pedestal, and then the negative will come back and it brings them down off their pedestal. This is the same basic concept, because human beings are two-sided. They have a dark and a light. We internally have a dark and a light. We have an angelic side and we have a devil part of us, that those both parts are equal, and often we don't acknowledge those parts. We might want to push them away and make them wrong. This is still the same concept of that. There's equal positive, light, a positive, negative, light, dark, pleasure, pain at the exact same time, and they coexist. They are always there. And this can also be applied to when we're looking at things in retrospect, going, I wish that didn't happen. Why did it have to happen that way? And it's because we can't actually see the benefits that have come out of that, and we're looking at it through a lens of pain without actually looking at the benefits of how that's come. And that's whole nother conversation. But this concept I just wanted to share with you guys, because it really has made a massive difference to the way that I look at things. Realizing in the past I have looked at things one-sided. I think a perfect example is a lot of us, when we're starting our health journey, or we've gone down a slippery slope, and then we realize there's a lot of work to do. We forget that it's going to be hard work. For example, I'm going to use weight loss as the example because it's the one that is the easiest example. I want to lose 20 kilos. Okay, so what are the drawbacks, or the things that are going to be the challenges in that paradigm of losing weight? Okay, well, I'm going to have to get up early and exercise. I'm going to have to do things I don't want to do. I'm probably going to have to say no to things. I'm going to have to create a level of grit. I'm going to have to learn new things. I'm going to have to go and get support. It's going to cost me time and investment to go and do that. What are the benefits of that? Okay, well, I'm going to feel better about myself. I'm going to have more energy with my family. I'm going to have better brain quality function. I'm going to feel more vibrant, look more vibrant, feel better about myself, in myself, knowing I'm going to have better sleep. So you want those to be even, okay? And if the benefits are less than the drawbacks, we're probably not going to be overly motivated to move in that direction. Whereas then you can flip it on its head and go, okay, well, what are the benefits of staying the same? And what are the benefits of, and what are the drawbacks of staying the same? So you can do it on both sides. Ideally, if you want to create change, you want to be going, okay, I want the list of the drawbacks to be heavier where I am now, but still looking at it both-sided. So it's a bit of a catch-22. But if I can see that there's just as many drawbacks as there are benefits for me staying the same, it's going to then make me realize I may as well start to shift and move and start to create change in my life. Knowing that there's going to be challenge along the way. Knowing that there's going to be adversity. And stop expecting it to be easy. And I think this is the universal lesson at the moment, is we need to stop expecting it to be easy. We're in this instant gratification of society where things are quick, things are fast, we want them easy, we want it quick, we want it now, we don't want to have to wait, because everything is so instant. But it's not, like the consistency and the discipline and all those things we want are on the other side of consistency, are on the other side of discipline, are on the other side of understanding that there's going to be just as much challenge as there is pain, just as much light as there is dark. And we've just got to remind ourselves of that. When things get hard, when things get tough, when life gives you a shit sandwich, just remember that this is universal law. And if you look around, and this is where then the concept of gratitude comes in, when you are having a shit sandwich day or a week or month or year, like there's just things thrown at you, it's like, okay, where can you find the gratitude as well for in the challenge? Where can you find the gratitude for the person that you're becoming? Where is the gratitude for the things in your life where you're getting support? Things that you're learning about yourself. And they could be, to start with, things that are really small, because you're not used to looking for that, and your brain is not used to looking at that side, and your heart is closed. And so it takes time and it takes practice to be able to open ourselves up to looking for the light as much as the dark. And we've often been trained a certain way through society and through conditioning, through generational trauma as well, of looking at things a certain way. And we might look at a glass half empty or half full, but they're both. It's actually both. It's half empty, it's also half full. And so going through this and going, yeah, if I can be more neutral, then when things happen, then I'm less reactive, because I understand this concept, and then I'm like, okay, this is okay. I still feel the feels. I still make myself okay. I still let the feelings come up. It might take a while, and I'm going to be okay with that. But I know that this is also universal law of keeping me balanced, and that there is never pleasure without pain or pain without pleasure. It doesn't exist. It's not how the universe works. I hope you guys found that helpful. If you've got any questions, please comment below, and I'll see you guys next week. Ciao.